My name is Nicole Banowitz, and I had a residency at the Joshua Tree Highlands Art Residency in January of 2021. My artwork is inspired by nature, and specifically relationships that I find in nature. I wanted to come to Joshua Tree because of the Yucca moth. The Yucca moth has a really unique relationship with the Joshua Tree. It's called an obligate mutualist relationship. In an obligate mutualist relationship, that means that the two organisms need each other to survive. So if the Joshua tree or the yucca moth were to die out, then the other would die. What happens is that the yucca moth pollinates the Joshua tree, and the Joshua tree provides a place for the yucca moth to deposit its eggs. Then when those little larvae hatch, they eat a certain amount of those Joshua tree seeds, but they know there's a really delicate balance, and so they only eat some of them and they leave some of them. And the seeds that are left have been pollinated by the moth, and so those can go on to grow into new Joshua trees. Now, the thing that's happening now, which is really scary, is with climate change, the area where the moth lives and the area where the Joshua tree lives are starting to have less and less overlap. And with time, these organisms may be stranded without one another, which means they will die out. So for my residency, I wanted to create a Joshua tree and a moth and have a performance at the end of my time there. And I wanted this performance to draw attention to this really delicate, beautiful relationship between the moth and the tree and help educate people not only about the Joshua tree, but about its pollinator, the yucca moth. I create inflatable sculptures. So what you're seeing here is a fabric sculpture which inflates with air. The moth actually has a backpack frame inside of it with a battery pack and fans so that I can wear it out in the environment and move around. And here you're seeing the moth interacting with the Joshua tree in the pollination performance. The orange balls that you see are pollen, and they actually attach to the helmet that I'm wearing with Velcro, but they're meant to look as though the moth is holding those balls on their under their head, because the moth will gather all the pollen together in a ball and hold it right under its head and take it from one tree to the next. And so here I'm taking the pollen from the actual live Joshua tree, and I'm taking it across the way to the Joshua tree that I created. And this is a fallen Joshua tree. So this is sort of a sad performance because here the moth is trying to pollinate this fallen dead tree.